Let's get down to this, shall we? The Ayub Qassim or Qassim interview. Up and coming. Do we want an interview or an interrogation? I will give you my view on it. So, come on in. The water is lovely. It's full of sharks. And welcome to Aldon's Reviews and True Crime. Let's get comfortable. Let's just undo a button there. Too much. So, Ayub, you're doing an interview. So we want to know, is it an interview? I want an interrogation. Put down in the comments what you want. What questions do you want asked? Just put the questions down that you want asked. And it's been recorded already. They're not going to ask them. But perhaps Ayub, you'd like to come on a live with one of us, any of us, doesn't matter which, and answer the appropriate questions. Questions that I would like answered are when you slipped up, when you said Rocky's gone to get the charger and Jay's friend is sleeping. Oh, no, not Jay's friend. Jay is sleeping. You slipped up. You remember that? Everybody does. It's being clipped. So I've got it on my video somewhere. So you can look back on mine or somebody can chip in with that one. We just want the truth. We're not saying that you pulled the trigger, held the knife, used the knife. We're not saying that at all. So just want to know what the background is of why you were there. Why did you rent that Airbnb? Well, out in the sticks. Wasn't near the action. The club's a bit of a pain, isn't it? When you say you want to drink, you might not drink. But say you do want to drink or something else. You've got to drive all that way. 45 minutes, was it? Do it in half an hour, 45 minutes. Was it an hour, hour and a quarter? That's one way. You wouldn't. I know. We know you're not a hiker. So you wouldn't stay up in the mountains with limited facilities. It's a nice place. I'd stay there myself. I like hiking. I would. But why did you? Why? Just tell the truth. We're not going to put you in jail for what you've been up to. Mark Williams Thomas, the investigator, he knows, doesn't he? He knows something. He knows what was going on. What were you doing there? Really? Come on. Now we know a little bit. We know quite a bit. Just need to piece it all together. We also want to know who was in the car. Who did come back with you to the Airbnb? What happened? Why did Jay? Because Lucy said Jay didn't want to go back to the Airbnb. Reluctant to go back. We and Mark Williams Thomas just pinpointed the fact that you must be afraid there. Not necessarily. Just didn't want to go back there. Something was awkward. Explain the blanket and the photograph of the small shoes, small black trainers, and why he would just take a photograph. And it was this hand, wasn't it? He was holding the, we worked out that it was the vape. And he held the camera. It was a funny angle to hold a camera, a selfie. What's that? Why were you? And why was he filming the vape? These are questions we've been asking for a long time. Why would he do that? On the steps, not the scenery, nothing else. Why on his phone did he have just that one photograph? Nothing else. They say that they've been investigating. Mark Williams Thomas said there was an inquest, a documentary coming up, said to be January the 25th, wasn't it? Or January. Let's go on January. So we want an interrogation, an investigation into what happened. The justice for Jay. Now, we've worked out he wasn't an angel. So it wasn't you. You don't want to squeal. You just want to know the truth, what you were doing. Now, why do you go to Dubai often? You're working, I gather, British Rail on the railways. So you're working nights. That's long hours normally 10, 12-hour days. Why are you doing that? Why are you having all these holidays? What are you doing on these holidays? You work, you said yourself, you work in the weed cafes. The weed cafe, or is it just a cafe in Tenerife? The Potter Paper Cafe. The one that was linked with Lucy doing some dodgy paperwork about ownership. It's only a misdemeanor, isn't it? Just dodgy paper. It happens more so over there abroad. Properties. So we just want to know, is it, do you own part of the cafe, or do you just work there? What do you do there? Is it just holidays? So do you get the set, like 3 or 4 weeks a year holiday as an employee? Are you self-employed? It all pieces together. You say you're not involved now. It's years ago you said you were a bit silly when you tried the drug operation throughout Wales and tried to introduce Class A drugs and probably Class B to Wales. So you said that was a bit childish. You're not doing that. You're into crypto, mate, something like that. But anyway, it's a bit wishy-washy. So these are the questions personally I would like to be asked on that podcast, up and coming podcast. You touched on that you kind of knew Lucy. What was your connection with Lucy before? What does she do? You say you weren't at the NRG. How did you meet Jay afterwards? Was he just walking along the boardwalk on his own? The prom? Whatever. What was the meeting? How did you meet him? So did you walk into the festival? Were you standing on the steps? Were you walking by and you happened to see him? Why did you kind of hide your face in the photograph? Apparently it was the airport. LK was there. Rocky was there driving, picking you up. Someone else was getting out of the car. We saw him in the sunroof. You went like this. What was the hiding about? What was that? I don't understand. Or were you just taking a selfie or something? Oh no, I don't know. Just explain that one. Want to know? Because you've got nothing to hide. You just looked a bit odd. I don't know what was going on there. Can you list down all the people, like the guy in the sunroof we don't know about? Who were you with? Who were mixing with? Obviously on holiday. You're on holiday, I take it. Who were you on holiday with there exactly? List them all down. Just come out with all the names of who were you with in your holiday. You're all holidaying, so you've got nothing to hide. You can say who you were with. If I'm on holiday, I don't mind saying who I'm with, my friends or whatever. Tom, Dick, Harry, family. Got to ask. Also, the dates. You want to know the dates of when Rocky arrived. Yourself, how often you're back and forth there, because I want to know what happened before June the 17th, because Brandon was there. How do you know Brandon? You know Brandon before. Brandon was there at least from the 8th of June. Have you got family there? Have you got an apartment in Tenerife? What was meant when you said the blood remover, a name? There was a name, a cleaner. You thanked the cleaner. When did the cleaner go in to clean the Airbnb? When you were just leaving, or when you were there? Does it get cleaned when you're there? It was just the name that you used to. Name was not put it in the previous video, but blood removal. It's just thank you. It's just a cryptic message you left on you. As if it was you. Was it you? Do you have any connections with previous people in prison? Obviously you do, because you're bound to. So how are you involved now with them? Also, lie detectors. Lie detectors have been used on social media. Paddy Conroy, who's an ex-gangster, seems, I'd say, kind of all right now. He's living on a farm in the northeast, 60s. he took a lie detector when he was having a to and fro with Stephen Sayers, another notorious gangster. The Sayers, he had a spit with them, and they both took lie detector tests. So would you be willing in the next interview or interrogation to take a test? I think it's about 300 quid or something. It's we could even have, I don't always agree with GoFundMe's, but we could have a GoFundMe, couldn't we, to pump up for you to have one. Doesn't mean it's within a court, and we're not presenting you with a court, we're just presenting you within social media. So we can look at the good people in the comments. Creators, anybody, just put down the questions you would like answered from Ayub, and there are so many people to interview or interrogate. So many people involved, so much misinformation. We've got misinformation right from kickoff, and also information that we know is good information, because that's been unraveled. Lucy said herself, Brandon was there on one of the videos. It's got removed now from my site, and I do apologize if I am using anybody's YouTube material to create something. Anybody out there, you can use my content, or you can use my shaky holiday mobile phone content that I'm walking on the street with. You can use that if you want to, especially if it involves one of the main witnesses in Brandon, and it was Brandon. It was. I know the owner of that material. Sorry, Cole, but you said it wasn't Brandon, and I was making up stories. You got me a bit muddled up, actually. You said I make up stories in my kitchen. My kitchen I use for cooking. I think you've got me muddled up. There is some good work done by another content creator, a buddy of mine, Duncan. He works from his kitchen. Perhaps you muddled him up with me, which is a compliment, because I think Duncan, he doesn't make up stories. He delves in quite well, makes sure what he puts out is pretty much 100% delves into people and families. So we need to delve into the same people. Families, if they're connected in some way, not just random attacks on families or interrogations on families, but families, if they've been connected with certain crimes, whether it's misdemeanors, can I say acceptable crime, but it's the big crime that could be connected in some way. Sorry, this one will become clearer after your interview, Ayub. And yeah, so hope to be watching and see what comes out. And then perhaps I'll make another video to be a bit clearer, perhaps. And perhaps the content creators, we need to work more with each other, with all the viewers, but certainly the content creators. Some don't kind of like each other. It seems a bit heavy. But thank you for watching. If you appreciate, please like and subscribe. That's free. You can also, if you want to, chip in. This is all self-funded, so you can chip in if you want to. In some ways, I think there's a pound sign in the comments. You can 50, you can put 20 pence on there if you want to. And maybe that will go towards maybe one day I want to go out to the Airbnb and do a live overnight from the Airbnb, maybe, or somewhere connected out there. Just be interesting. See who we can attract. Probably would need security. Probably need chaps to come out. And will I need a weapon? We'll see. Put down in the comments actually if it's a good idea to do a live from the Airbnb. Well, scary.